Hello everybody, jimmyispromo here, back again with another awesome video, and today I'm super excited because I'm able to go back to one of my favorite cases that I've ever reviewed, and that one is from a company called Scooch. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Scooch, Scooch came out with some awesome cases for some of the other devices with the S7 and a couple of the other iPhones. Actually, I've got one of them sitting right over here, but they actually did a redesign of their case. So this one right here was a 4-in-1, and this one right over here is actually a 5-in-1, and we'll get a little bit more into depth of exactly what is the 5-in-1. And right over here you can see my Galaxy S8 is actually propped up just a little bit, and how is that able to happen? Well, on the very back, this is where that little clip-tastic area is at. It's a little clip that you're able to just basically press it on in there, almost a little similar to some of those old snap bracelets that goes around your wrist. And now they basically incorporated it on the back of a phone to do several different things. Now, at any point in the time of this video, if this is something you guys are interested in as a case, make sure you guys go below the video in the description and you're able to find an Amazon link where I will link you over to the case for the Galaxy S8 Plus as well as the Samsung Galaxy S8. So let's go a little bit overhead and we'll get a little bit more in-depth of the changes. So let's look at the key differences and the improvements between the last year's model versus this year's model of the Scooch case. So first off, what you guys can see initially is the packaging has changed, as well as one other thing that is written within the packaging. Over here it says 4-in-1, and this one is a 5-in-1 case. So what have they added with the Wingman to make it 5-in-1 versus the 4-in-1? Let's look at the summary of what has been added. So first off, you have mount it, and over here it also says mount, so you can mount it for your safer driving. Over here it says grip it, and it also says grip it over here for a better handling. Here is where you can kick it, as well as we have kickstand over here for portrait and landscape viewing. And then we also have protect it, and protect it is written over here. So it does have the XOD impact technology, which I will do drop test with this one on a separate video. And right over here is the added 5. So this one says support, which is the support victims of crime and abuse with every purchase. So I will slide this out of the way, get this thing opened up, and we can check a little bit more of exactly what support it means. For every Wingman purchase, we pay forward 10% of profits to charities like Prevail, who are dedicated to serving and empowering victims of crime and abuse. So not only are you getting an amazing case, but you're also giving support out there to those who need it. Getting a closer look at the cases, you can see here, you're not able to see through this case to check out your amazing color of the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, which the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus does have some really cool colors. And so any type of a case just kind of blocks it, but now you're able to see it. Another thing I've noticed with the last year's model is that this is actually a metal plate that has been glued onto the back of a case to give it its different colors, but you have a problem with it bending. And so if you're to bend your phone or bend your case, then this metal little plate will also be able to bend as well. And this one right over here actually has no plate whatsoever, so that will never be an issue. When you throw the case on the phone, one of the first things that you notice is that with the Galaxy S7, you can see that it moves a little bit. So when you have this little case on the back of it, it is lifted in the back. So if you're doing a little bit of texting, your phone might move. And they actually improved that over here with the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. So it will move a little bit on the very top, but your keyboard is also not on the very top. It's really just going to be with a little bit of a touch when you're to pull down the notifications panel, but it's not going to move the phone unless if you press it down. And then also when you're doing your texting and typing, you will be perfectly fine versus this one right over here. So this one did have a little bit of an improvement while adding in the extra edges along the sides, a little bit longer so it does not have that move. Now, one of the things you're going to notice when you're using this device is that you'll probably get a little addictive just by pressing this little button on the very back, this little clip-tastic part of this clip. So when you hold the phone, you're going to notice you're going to do this quite a bit and quite often. So checking out the clip on the very back, all you have to do is basically press in the very middle for it to pop out, and then you press in on the very bottom to bring it right back in. So you press on the very middle to pop out, and again, you press on the very bottom to clip it right back in. So what you're able to use this for is mounting. So inside of your guys' car, if you have your air vent, you place this right inside the air vent and it actually fits right inside of there, all snug, and then you'll be able to see exactly what I mean if you're able to use it yourself inside the air vent. You also have the protect it, and so then with the different corners on the very edges of this device, it will give it a protection, which I will test that out a little bit later on with a separate video. And then for kick it, this one right here kind of explains everything as it's called. You're able to kick it with a kickstand, either in your portrait and as well as landscape mode. And it's perfect angle for actually viewing when you're sitting down. And you also have grip it. So what I've noticed when I'm using this phone is that I'm actually holding it like this every single time. So I'm able to hit anywhere on my device. And again, this is the Galaxy S8 Plus. Now, the only downside of this case is that this thickness right here takes away the ability of doing wireless charging. But you do have to have this amount of thickness, because my guess is that they took this all the way down to the smallest length that they're able to in order for this thing to activate and pop open properly. So again, the only downside of this is that you will not be able to do wireless charging with this case. So if we're looking at the functionality of this case and the usability without looking at this different little wing on the very back, how is the buttons and how is the layout and how is all the different cutouts for all the different sensors as well as the plug? I do have to say that out of every single case I've ever used on my Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, this power button is the most easiest one to hit. You're not going to accidentally hit it, but you don't have to put any type of a pressure to make it turn on. Now, I've used a lot of different cases where it felt like I had to push just a little bit harder with that power button. So I don't know exactly how they did this case, but it's super easy to use, and that goes for the exact same for the Bixby button and as well as the volume rocker. Now, I love the very edges of this case here. This is where it gives you a little bit of that protection. And then on the very bottom, the cutouts and everything is pristine. It's exactly where it's supposed to be. You're not going to get cut off with the mic because the hole is at the placement where it's supposed to be. Same thing with your speaker and as well as the headphone jack and the USB Type-C. And then one of the things I like about the very edge of the case is that it's not 100% smooth. So it's not going to be anything that's going to fall out of your hands. It's actually a little bit almost like a fingernail filer. I'm able to actually scratch my finger on it. Now, even though I'm not able to wirelessly charge my phone with this case, it does come out with the mount it, protect it, kick it, and grip it, which kind of takes a little bit away of the edge of wireless charging. And then I'll be able to just plug it in on the very bottom, which the fast adaptive charge does charge it much faster than wireless charging, but it's just the convenience that I am missing. And I kind of hope somehow in the future, either the Samsung phones will get stronger with the connection of wireless charging, or somehow with the design of this right here, able to get it a little bit more thinner in order for that to work. But again, I am okay with not wirelessly charging my phone at the moment, just because I use this kickstand so much, as well as mostly the grip it. So if you guys liked this video, make sure you guys go below this video here and click on that Amazon link and get yourself the Scooch case, the Wingman edition for the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, as well as hit that like for this video if this is something that has helped you guys out, and hit that subscribe button so you guys can see many more videos like this. And I'll see you guys later.